Trucking along.
Whoops, I just dropped off.
Very fresh. I was saying to Jacob, I'd come here real early today actually, but set up about 10:30. I was going to duck out for a foil
Oh, really?
at West Dalby or something here, but I ended up forgetting a couple of things and had to nick home, so I chilled out at home for half an hour, but yeah, there's a little bit of roll on. I think Tuesday looks good and I'm going to go and do that surround. Got a really good feeling about that. You want those shallow days, longer rolling way.
Senior Men's Clash, round number 13. Second weekend of the round 13, and it's the second group of matches that we have on at today. Ulverstone are hosting Devonport, and I believe Circular Head are hosting the Wynyard Cats this afternoon up at Smithton. Joining me in the commentary box from the Ulverstone Recreation Ground is Jacob Bevis. Welcome, Jacob. It's been a big week in football this week, has it not?
It has, yeah. Lots happening from our neck of the woods up to Hobart. But no, great to be here for this game. This should be a cracker. And just saw Jordan Quayle win the toss, so Ulverstone kicking to the left of your screen early.
Looking forward to seeing what these two combatants can do. Today, last time they played, there was only 16 points to margin at the Devonport Oval. In fact, Ulverstone led for the majority of that match. It was only in the second half that Devonport really got going, and it was a very competitive outfit that Ulverstone brought to the table. They've had a little bit of a topsy-turvy time since then. Nonetheless, 12 points separate them from first and third.
Yeah, absolutely. Thought probably for most of last year they were probably the second best team. Not sure I can say that about them this year, but this will be a good test for them.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what some of the players can do. And we've got some late ins too. So, Jacob, if you're able to update us with regards to what's going on with Ulverstone and Devonport.
Yeah, absolutely. Zach Hazelwood out for Jacob Roots, number 18. And for Devonport, one change. Lenny Douglas not out there. He's been replaced by Stan Tyson, who's back in the team this afternoon.
Yeah, coming back from a broken jaw after an incident against East Devonport a number of weeks ago. So, good to see. Also, I think, some broken ribs as well. So, Stan might be a little bit lighter after having a bit of a broken jaw and then having to use a straw for a period of time. Ground, not in the best of nick. A little bit overcast conditions here today. You can see out on the ground, just to the left of screen on the half-forward flank towards the Bowls Club, there's a fair bit of sand out there at the moment. And there are some other patches around the ground that look like they have struggled with regards to the wet conditions that the Northwest has had in recent times. And we can see, in fact, a couple of the Ulverstone hierarchy going out there and just sort of testing the ground towards the wings, not far from our commentary position. Tips for today, Jacob? What are you thinking with regards to Ulverstone and on their home deck, smaller oval, not as wide, not as lengthy as the Devonport Oval? How do you think they might fare against the Devonport Magpies, who have only been beaten by the Burnie Dockers in season 2026?
Yeah, I think it'll be competitive, but I do expect Devonport will be a little too strong. Probably, well, they definitely haven't been as good as last year. Inaccuracies probably let them down, but I think they'll do enough today to get the job done. And yeah, they're certainly still the team to beat, aren't they?
No, they are the team to beat. So in seasons 2023, 24, 25 and now 26, the Devonport Magpies have been the number one team here in the NWFL. Still under the tutelage of Justin Robin. And actually on my way in I had a good chat with Bucket Slow, one of the assistant coaches, so Mark, father of Keegan, having a bit of a chat, and they were pretty confident in the way in which they were going to be able to approach today's game with the inclusions that they have, and one of those being Declan Lee, a former Ulverstone / Penguin boy, brother of Kynan, back into the Devonport outfit in recent weeks. And we can see, looks like number 21, Johnny DeRees, is now moving towards the back half of the ground. Getting us underway at the start of the game, Jacob Bevis.
That'll be an interesting battle in the ruck there between Bryce De Vries and Lockwood as we're underway at Ulverstone. Keegan Lowe getting the first clearance. It's landed out towards the near side wing. Bramage received it from Castles. Got boot to ball. Wasn't an effective kick though. Here's Kelly coming in and being tackled. And we're going to get a ball up. That's Fletcher Kelly. Quite a few brothers out there this afternoon, Xavier, as we get a ball up on the wing.
There certainly is. So the DeVries on the Ulverstone Robbins side, and obviously the Kelly boys representing Devonport Magpies. One of those Kellys then just tried to get his boot to ball. Ineffective. Good tackle being applied there by Ulverstone Robbins, and Nash gets the opportunity to play on according to the umpire's signal. Ball taken away there, cross half back. That was by Mason. Kicks towards half forward. No one able to take the mark. Clark's trying to get back also. He might be the first one towards it. Does. Cleanly gets hold of the football. Throws it on his pill out towards the wing on the far side of the ground. No one able to take it. Ball comes to ground. Contest prevails, and the umpire is now called holding the ball. Jacob, I didn't quite see who was on the bottom of that.
I think it might have been Blair, potentially.
So free kick will go to the Devonport Magpies across half back. And that's been intercepted there by Benny Dawson for the Ulverstone Robbins.
Just works the kick out to Flanagan. And now DePoli. Q-Bank kicks it up towards Billy Sharman. He's got Quayle to handball it to. Just couldn't quite get a grip on it though, Sharman. And now lets Devonport back in. Butler received it from Oliver Kelly. Tried to go back to him, but couldn't find him. And now the ball has been wrapped up. No, in fact, it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, I think he might have taken his legs.
So it will be Billy Sharman for the Robins.
That's an interesting inclusion too in recent weeks.
It is, yes. He was, I think, first senior game for Ulverstone last week and has kept his place. Here's Oliver DePoli Q-Bank just trying to dance around Blair Ryan. Did well in the end and then kicks it inside 50 towards McGurk. Couldn't quite find him. Here's Spears, the youngster. His handball nearly turned over. The ball bobbling around. Murphy Cohen tried to go off the deck. He picked it up in the end. Now Jackson Blair was dispossessed. Ball spills out to Spears. And now Hawks the clearing kick towards the contest.
No one able to take it. Blair Ryan at the front and then goes back to Nash. That's the Jake variety. Back to Kelly off the boot. Looking for Lowe. Lowe beaten by Flanagan and company. Ball then being smothered there by Blair Ryan. Ryan kicks long towards half forward. Target has been hit. That's Q. Q Byard. Quaid. He goes further afield and lands in the hands of Van Buren. Caleb forward again and running into that space and taking the mark is the big fella in Braden Butler. So he's going to be shooting from around about 35 metres out on about a 45-degree angle right in front of the scoreboard, as we can see that it is 0-0 at the 3-minute mark of the first term. A little bit of light drizzle you can see in the background just outside to the east of Ulverstone as Butler comes in. Wind, not really a factor today. Doesn't make the distance, but roving at the front was Caleb Van Buren. He kicks across his body. That's front and centre work by the captain for the Devonport Magpies, and he kicks the first, and they go to 1 straight 6 at the 3.5-minute mark. Ulverstone yet to score.
I just caught a bit on the hop there, weren't they, the Robins? Devonport able to transition brilliantly, and good goal there by Caleb Van Buren. He's been amongst the goal kickers this year.
Certainly has. He's been out of the side for an extended period of time too, so obviously they were trying to get him right so that he was able to be strong in the back half of the season, but that was just experience, wasn't it, being front and centre? Absolutely.
So back in the middle, DeVries and Lockhart do battle. Taps it down the throat of Oliver Kelly. His kick towards Castles, who was dispossessed by Flanagan. Tried to clear it there, Ulverstone, but Devonport win back possession. Here's Jake Nash receiving a handball from his teammate in Butler. Kicks it to the top of the goal square, 2-on-2. Comes off hands. Now, Braden DeVries was nearly taken by the
I thought
legs.
his legs were taken out there, absolutely. I thought that might have been a free kick. Oh, and there's a bit going on there. Someone's not happy.
It's going to be a ball up top of the goal square.
Ball up. Ryan feeds it back to Lowe across the body. Doesn't get good purchase. Dawson knocks it in front of himself. There's Quaid Byard going down and looking for a free kick for a head-high tackle. That might be Lockie Kelly. And the umpire says yes. And he's going to be kicking again from around about a 35-metre distance on about a 45-degree angle. We're right behind him here. Commentary side of the ground, also the interchange side of the ground with a number of changes happening. Coming on is Jack Forster for one of the Kelly boys. So Lockie Kelly, sharpshooter, goes out to the right, keeps it right, and that goes through 4-1 behind. So it's 1-1 to the Devonport Magpies at the 5.5 minute mark. Ulverstone yet to score.
Usually a good kick of the footy, Lockie Kelly, but couldn't make the most of that. So Bond kicks it as far as he can, almost marked there by Jake Nash, but dropped it at a crucial moment. Ball bobbling around, it comes out for Spears for Devonport. He tumbles a ball back inside 50 and finds the boundary line. So we're going to get a ball in, deep inside the Magpies forward 50 with 6 minutes gone early. Devonport have the early lead. So ball comes back in. Bryce DeVries and Lockhart do battle. Fletcher Kelly nearly received a handball. Ball didn't quite land to him in the end. Mason goes inside 50. Caleb Van Buren almost, not quite, close to the boundary line. It spills out of play, and we're going to get another boundary throw in.
So at the 6.5 minute mark, it's 1-1-7. Plays yet to score. Lead for the Devonport Magpies, kicking to the right of screen. Butler takes it out of the ruck. Wheels onto his right boot, top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Ball bounces forward. There's the British Imperial, King Island, British Imperial Beach lover. That being the boy from King Island, Bo Clemens, getting his hands on the football. He had an errant handball. Nash was on the bottom of the pack, and a ball up will be the result. So ball goes straight up, down. Butler wins the tap. It's Tyson onto his left side. Is that out of bounds on the full? No, according to the umpire, it was touched by Clemens and company. Taking the ball across the boundary line, we'll have another boundary throw-in.
Ball just living in Devonport's forward 50 for the moment. Dawson grabs it out of the ruck and then was tackled. And the umpire says, I'll have it. The Dawson and Butler doing the work here on this occasion in the ruck for their respective teams. Dawson again grabbed it out of the ruck and then spilt it. Trying to pick it up there was Kynan Lee. Umpire blows his whistle and it's going to be a free kick to the Magpies. Will be Kynan Lee.
Didn't quite see what that was for.
Maybe perhaps a bit of holding potentially without the footy. So a chance here for Kynan Lee to boot it through. He'll be directly in front. Kicking from about roughly 40 metres. Let's have a look. It's on its way. It's not a great kick. It's to the right for a minor score.
So Lee, it's a second miss for the Devonport Magpies in a short space of time. They come out wide. Dawson, 3 bites of the cherry, finally holds the mark. He's been called to play on, goes short. That's a poor kick. And the mark has been taken or intercepted there by Jack Forster. He's well inside the 40 metre mark, so he's going to be kicking from right on that. Devonport makes some interchanges. Low for Kelly. He goes short and wide. Finds Blair Ryan. And Ryan will now be having a shot, maybe an extra 2 or 3 metres, but on a more acute angle. So right in front of the wet area. And a bit fresh in recent times, and the wet area is not as populated as one would think it could be underneath the elm tree. Ryan's kick hits the woodwork. So 1-3 to the Devonport Magpies as we hit the 9.5 minute mark of turn number 1.
They're threatening to blow this out, the Magpies early. So Ulverstone bring it back into play. It lands out on the far side and it's been touched on the way through out of play. So a boundary throw in. This time Lockhart and Wiggers. Lockwood, I should say, and Wiggers to go at it in the ruck. Lockwood taps it down. We're going to get another one.
So another ball up, cross half forward for the Devonport Magpies. Far side of the ground. No one able to take it cleanly. Lee applies the tackle, ball comes out. according to the umpire, Phil McCulloch, that is holding the football. Play on to Devonport, the inside forward 50 by Kelly's. Tyson was the target. No one able to take it cleanly. Then they chain a handballs. They get it out to Clark. Clark lost the mullet. He's kicked it up towards half forward. He's looking for Murphy Cohen, who's able to create a contest, bring the ball with Hawks to the boundary line, and we will have a boundary throw-in. Gets a bit of attention on his way out. Boundary throw-in will be the result. There's a bit going on between the ruckman there.
Well, looks like it's going to result in a free kick too. So Braden DeVries in possession. It's got a target short, but in fact he does go there in the end. So Claridge, outside 50. It's got multiple players calling for it. Just decides to pop it up towards the top of the goal square in the Lanane direction, but that's a good mark taken there by Lockwood. He's done so well since he's come back into the team this year. Now here's Jake Nash receiving a handball there from Vorster. Kicks it out towards Castles. 1-on-1 with Flanagan. Flanagan was able to get his hands on it first. Castles followed up with a tackle. And the umpire will come in to ball it up on the near side of the ground.
Yeah, poor decision there by Claridge with his kicking. He had multiple options with regards to some leads. He's kicked to a 3-on-1. There was no way his teammate was going to make an impact there, and Devonport are able to easily clear the football. Nonetheless, the Robins clear it now with DeVries handing it to teammate, inside forward 50, the target. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Murphy Cohen. Devonport are able to release, but a mark, stabilising mark, has been taken by key defender in Clay Griffiths across the wing. He comes back inside looking for Murphy Cohen. He's asking for a push in the back. Does he get it? No, and the ball gets dribbled on and then taken through there by Devonport's Tyler Kelly for one behind.
Kicks it short to Braden Van Buren. Continues straight and short to Jake Nash. Then a long kick. Does find the target too.
Good mark.
And off they go. It's Kynan Lee who bombs it inside 50. No mark taken there by Stan Tyson. He hunts for the footy, picks it up, tries to dribble it through. Dawson's there, though. He should see it through. It missed anyway. And it's another behind for the Magpies.
So that one's a rush behind for the Magpies. And it's 1-4, plays one behind. 9 points of difference. Ball's in the hands of Bo Nash this time. Oh, his kick finds DeVries into the middle. Got a running player going forward. That might be Bond. Hands it over by hand to his teammate there, McGurk. McGurk to Murphy Cohen. Open goal beckons in the goal square. And the big fella puts through there first. And it's one they definitely needed. With completed by Murphy Cohen. And that brings the margin back to, I think it might be 3 points. So it's 1-1-7. The Ulverstone Robins, a trail at the 13.5-minute mark. The Devonport Magpies 1-4-10. That was much better play, Jacob. More direct, bringing the ball in. Mind you, I would say that Bo Nash's kick was more luck of fortune there, I think, in relation to hitting Johnny DeVries.
It was.
But from there, great ball movement.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit more aggression and a bit more pace on the footy, which is probably what they need early on. So back we go. Here's Bo Nash. Clearance inside 50 for the Robins. No mark taken there by McGurk. They try to work it through hands here, Ulverstone, but it's come unstuck. Braden Van Buren's kick didn't go very far. Here's Keegan Lowe receiving a handball from Lockwood, and off they go, the Pies. Takes a bounce inside 50. Can he find a target? Dawson there tracking back. He's a great defender and he was able to intercept the kick that was on its way to Lee. And we're going to get a ball up forward pocket here for the Magpies.
No one able to take it cleanly. Dawson, who's thrown out of it with not holding the football. Umpires missed that. And Bond holds up Kelly, and we'll go again. Bit of holding going off the ball there. Tyson, Kelly gets to it, kicks it across his body, just to the near side, misses, and it goes through for one behind. 1-5, plays 1-1 at the 15-minute mark of the first term.
Here's Flanagan taking the kick out, goes long towards Bryce DeVries, but Lockwood, that is a superb mark. Handballs it sideways to Bramage. And then the kick towards Stan Tyson wasn't the best. And as a result, it bounces out of play just inside the paint of 50.
Yeah, just try to chip at it as opposed to kick through the football.
Stan Tyson, of course, one of the late-ins for the Magpies this afternoon. The only one, in fact. Butler beats Dawson in the ruck. Tyson got a handball away. Oliver Kelly had it as well. He fed it out, but only as far as Flanagan. And the umpire's going to come in and ball it up inside 50 for the Pies.
So the ball's lived. Centre forward for the Devonport Magpies for the majority of this quarter. Only 3 points of difference. Nash gets his... Oh, it's Topoli, sorry. Gets his kick away. Lux the Fortune. Jumping underneath the football, there was Billy Sharman. He looks inboard. That's a good kick. Finds his teammate there in Tobin. Tobin onto the ground just recently. His kick. Bit of a mongrel forward. Murphy Cohen battling. And Kelly takes the football. Passes to his teammate in Spears. Throws his boot onto it. Comes back towards Todman, uses his agility, gets in and around. Ball goes forward, no one able to take it cleanly. Running over the top of it was the tip rat. And Devonport are able to kick the ball back out towards centre wing position. Clark off the ground, hits De Vries as they go to penetrate half forward.
Inside 50 he goes, Braden De Vries towards Jackson Blair. Pies have the numbers. That's brilliant work there by Fletcher Kelly. Now the kick was overcooked. Straight over Bramich's head and into the hands of Braden De Vries, who tries to bomb it from home but misses to the left-hand side of the sticks.
Both teams have had their opportunities, haven't they?
They have, absolutely.
Open goal Beckett. Maybe the pressure from behind from Blair Ryan on Braden De Vries. Made him hook the football just that little bit. The kick in. Doesn't find an intended target. But it does find the boundary line off the fist of Evan Lockwood, and we'll get a boundary throw in, far side of the ground. 1-2 plays 1-5, 3 points the margin. Favour of the Magpies. We're up to the 17.5 minute mark of term number 1. Not much between these two sides. Lee battling against Nash. Kelly over the top. That's Oliver. I'm going to do it all again. Another bell up. At the 17.5 minute mark, 3 points the margin in favour of the Magpies.
Lockwood convincingly wins the hit out, but only taps it as far as Quayle. His kick was smothered and over the line. So a boundary thrown on the near side. Lockwood and Bryce De Vries to do battle in the ruck here. De Vries this time wins the hit out. Lockwood tried to feed a handball out. Linane came in and got tackled. And we're going to get another stoppage on the near side of Ulverstone.
So we've had a few stoppages. Kelly gets his boot to ball, taking the mark and intercepting it right in the centre of the ground is Clay Griffiths. Clark coming around the outside, chooses to ignore him. Now he plays on. Former Devonport Magpie himself. Kicks the ball long. That was back in the statewide league days, was Griffiths. Linane involved. Brought to ground there by Wiggers. And the tip rat stands back up. Hands the football to the umpire. Says I'm going towards the boundary. De Vries gets it. Out to Topoli across the body. The snap's not a bad looking kick. We might see that on the socials a bit later on in the week. And there's a bit going on after that too. Not happy with the treatment that Oliver Topoli got. But that's a goal for the ages. Kelly might have been the one that instigated that. And I'm guessing that might be Oliver that's heading back towards the centre of the ground. So they've taken the lead for the first time in the match. It's 2-2-14, the Ulverstone Robins at the 19-minute mark. Devonport 1-5-11.
They've really worked their way into the game in this second half of the first quarter. What a goal, though, by Ollie, who's definitely cementing himself as one of the prominent midfielders in the competition. So young, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back in the middle. Bryce De Vries it was, taps it, and then gets it from Todman towards the top of the goal square. No mark chance here, though, for Mickey. And he just couldn't quite find the centre of the stick. So Mickey Linane with a behind, and Devonport can kick out here.
And Mickey Linane, tip wrap, that should have been his bread and butter. And he's missed it from the goal square as Devonport, through the services of Lee, bringing him board to Nash. Jake Variety, the redhead for Devonport, kicks towards centre wing position. taking a mark on that far side in front of the McCoy Automotive sign is Caleb Van Buren. Decides to play on now. He goes long, down towards the scoreboard. Oh, that's a good... Is it a mark? It's been... Yes, it's been paid. That's to Braden Butler against Ben Dawson. Good body work. He's within range. Asks for someone to come leading towards him. His kick's not a great one. Bond feeds the ball back along the ground towards Flanagan. Flanagan unable to take it cleanly, goes across the boundary line. And the 21 minute mark, it's 15 plays 11, advantage to the Ulverstone Robins.
Can Devonport take back the lead here perhaps? It's inside their forward 50. Butler and Dawson, the throw in favoured Dawson in the end. He handballed it off to Braden DeVries. Long handball towards Quayle, but forcing him out of play there was Bo Bramage, and we're going to get a ball in. 15 plays 11. Ball comes back into play. Wiggers and Butler, pretty even contest between the two. They work it through hands, the Robins. Braden DeVries' handball kick was smothered, and the ball has been fumbled out of play. And we're going to get another throw in on the near side of the ground.
Very much a territory game at the moment. Players are handling the conditions reasonably well. It's a bit sloppy in parts of the ground due to the amount of rain. Wiggers gets it down. Kelly out of the congestion by foot. Standing in the way though. That's his third intercept. That's Clay Griffiths. Goes wide. Good mark taken by Bo Clemens. Plays on. Gives it to Bond. Bond goes short. Claridge takes the mark. Oh. And he's hurt himself as well. Or is it his knee? He might have hurt his knee as he landed then.
He held the knee straight away as soon as he went down, so that's not a good sign at all.
No. I think he might be in a world of hurt. So we're going to have a bit of a hold up here at the moment. As you mentioned before, Jacob, the Ulverstone Robins, back end of this quarter, they've been able to stabilise. You can see the shifting surface there. The runner, Hazelwood, trying to move it. Well, he's up on his feet, so that's a good start. And he's making his way towards the boundary line without any assistance. And Mickey Linane's going to replace him. Bond will take the kick. So Bond goes inboard. Paul Manning up there by the Magpies. Flanagan takes the centre of the ground, goes further forward. Target being the Jet. McGurk. Fletcher Kelly gets his hands on it. Ball comes out towards the far side. It's kicked off the ground there by Keegan Lowe. Race on for it. Dawson's going to be the first one back, one would imagine, for the Robins. Hot pursuit was Tyson. Wraps him up and takes it across the boundary line. We'll have another boundary throw-in. 23.5 minute mark. 15 plays 11. Advantage to the Robins.
Ball about to be thrown back into play. Wiggers and Declan Lee by the looks of it in the ruck. So there's been a bit of chopping and changing in the ruck early in this game. So getting the kick away there for Ulverstone was Lambury. Kicks in the direction of Sharman. Plenty of players around the footy. Hunting there is Fletcher Kelly. They work it through hands quickly here, the Magpies. Chance here for Forster. Into the centre square to Jake Nash, and now Braden Van Buren works a nice kick to Keegan Lowe on the wing. Large accumulator of the footy is Keegan Lowe, trying to step around DePoli. Q-Bank goes out wide. Blair Ryan received the handball there from Butler after he took the mark, and it's a good kick. Finds Lockie Kelly.
Yeah, it was a great kick. So Kelly now has that opportunity, doesn't he? But again, they're kicking from a very acute angle, Jacob.
Absolutely. He missed one earlier too. Lockie Kelly. He's kicked 21 goals for the season. Definitely the Magpies, the leading goal kicker in 2026. So on he goes. Kicks on his right. It's looking all right. Just fades late.
So Lockie, that's his second. Behind for the term. They go wide and they find Dawson. Opposite pocket to where Kelly was kicking from. Towards Wiggers, over the back. Is that McGurk that came across the top? It was indeed. Wiggers is asking for a free kick. None given. And he goes and has a crack at the two Lee boys. So Kynan, Declan in the ruck. Gets it down. Ball comes back out towards Braden DeVries. Steps and feigns. Handball gets knocked to the ground. Nash is after it now. He's on the bottom of the pack. Tries to get it back. Goes to Castles, and there's the siren at the 25. Oh,
bit happening here, Xavier.
there's a little bit on
Not
the far
surprised
side
either.
of the ground. Some real feeling. This young boy, young Jake Hingston, wants to go on with it. Not sure that's a wise decision, young Jake. Fletcher Kelly comes over and sorts them out. Same with Braden Van Buren. Just says, hang on, young man. Don't get too exuberant too quickly. 2-3 plays 1-6, and it's advantage to the Robins. And for the majority of that quarter, I'd say 70% of it, Devonport had the football centre forward.
Yeah, they really threatened to blow the margin out early, didn't they? If it wasn't for some of those misses early, it might have been a big margin halfway through the first quarter. But to Ulverstone's credit, they've been able to fight back, and as a result, they have the lead at the first break, which they'll be hoping obviously to build on.
Two goal kickers for the Ulverstone men. Oliver DePoli with that wonderful snap out of the stoppage. You will see that on the socials later in the week. There's no doubt about that. And Luke Murphy-Cohen with a Joe the Goose. But that was because of the great ball movement by the Ulverstone Robins back through the middle of the ground. Single goal kicker for the Devonport Magpies was their captain and Caleb Van Buren. They had multiple opportunities. They just couldn't convert. So what have they had? 8 shots. 8 shots on goal for 1 goal 6, whereas Ulverstone have only had the 4 really, because one of them was a rushed behind. They've had 4, so they've done reasonably well with regards to their efficiency inside forward 50. Some of the better players, Jacob.
Well, I'll do Ulverstone. I think Flanagan's been okay early. Got to put Topoli in there, don't we? Especially after that goal. But he's had a bit of the footy as well. Going down the page, maybe Ethan Bond, maybe chuck him in. And Braden DeVries, I'd have to say as well. And Dawson's doing all right in defence as well, as he so often does.
Yes. For the Devonport Magpies, Keegan Lowe, as you mentioned before, has had quite an accumulated quarter with regards to his possession. Jake Nash along with Blair Ryan, so those 3 boys have been playing across the middle throughout the course of term number 1. One of both the Kelly boys down back, Fletcher Kelly, he's got one of the jobs deep, and one of those I think might have been Jet McGurk along with Murphy Cohen at times. I've noticed that Oliver Kelly through the middle of the ground has been possibly their most prolific ball winner throughout the course of term number 1, and Kynan Lee has shown his capacity to win the football of his own volition, but also be a part of the chain whenever they move the ball forward. They just can't capitalise once the ball's inside their forward 50, so they need to get a little bit more efficient with their ball use inside that forward 50 arc. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break here from the Ulverstone Recreation Ground, where we see the Ulverstone Robins 2-3-15 leading the Devonport Magpies at 1-6-12. So it's a 3-point margin in favour of the Robins. We'll be back on AFL Tas live stream. You can join us for the second quarter shortly.
Welcome back to Ulverstone for this first v third clash between Ulverstone and Devonport, and the Robins are in front early, 15 plays 12. So we're just about to get underway in the second quarter. Here we go. Been a hot start to this one. Lockwood and Wiggers to do battle on the ruck to start the second quarter. Lockwood taps it towards the direction of Keegan Lowe, was able to get a kick off the boot towards Stan Tyson, who couldn't quite hang on to it in the end. Now the ball has been locked up in the hands of Clark, and we're going to get a ball up inside 50 for the Magpies.
So as per the start of the game, ball forward of centre, tapped out by Butler, looking for Lowe, unable to take it cleanly. It's part of the tackling components. Includes his compatriot there in Blair Ryan. They go again on top of Clark. Another ball up will be the result. So umpire Phil McCulloch puts it straight up. Butler down towards Kelly. Topoli got him wrapped up in a tackle. Ball's going nowhere. We're going to do it all again. So we'll have 3 within the space of 30 seconds. Clay Griffiths just moving his players. The Ulverstone Robins along that wing. Butler takes it out of the ruck, kicks towards the top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Roving there was Tyson. He's unable to take it cleanly. Ball comes out towards Lee. Guinan throws on his left boot, and unfortunately it's just to the near side.
7th behind for the Magpies. Here's Ethan Bond taking the kick out. Kicks it into the hands of Flanagan. So Flanagan from the pocket decides to run around Kynan Lee in the end and then kicks it towards the wing in the direction of Clay Griffiths. It got to him eventually, although it was intercepted on the way through. Gave the handball off to DePoli, and then inside 50 towards McGurk. Was one-on-one with Mason. Mason did well. Now the ball at ground level. That was brilliant there by Fletcher Kelly. Got it to his brother. The handball, though, was to grass, and as a result, DePoli Qbank pounced on it, handballed it to McGurk. He got it back, did Ollie, and then kicks it towards the goals. And seeing it there was Hawks. He didn't quite see it through for a behind. Instead, he kicks it into the hands of Jake Nash on the near side, close to the scoreboard.
So Nash for Devonport indicates he's going to go long. No mark. Good pick up there by Ulverstone. Ball's not cleared though. Now it comes to Clark. He was going to Blair not clean. Tyson now moves it to Butler by hand. He just kicks the ball up towards the top of the goal square, puts his teammate in an impossible position. He's cat-like though, that's Kelly. Kicks across the body. Unfortunately, that's only for a minor score. That's his third, actually. So he's been a target, has he not, Jacob?
Absolutely has. So Ethan Bond just plays on straight away from the kick out and then kicks it wide. Fletcher Kelly got in the way, but only brought it down to the advantage of Braden DeVries, who was tackled, and he's been given a free here, given away by Bo Bramich. Now that kick very close to the boundary line, but DePoli Qbank was able to keep it in. So goes short, finds Billy Sharman.
Oh, surely that's further down the field, yeah.
No-brainer. And, well, Matt Clark, he's a very experienced umpire, isn't he? And he was able to see that one.
We'll get it back here again.
So Billy Sharman will be taken to the 50 and goes short to the lead. And McGurk just didn't quite hang on to it in the end. There was a bit happening there in that play. Bo Nash handballs it towards Braden DeVries. It slipped through his hands. Here's a chance for DePauli. Kuback receives a handball and snaps it through for his second.
What did I say?
He's an absolute ripper. And Ulverstone extend their lead early in this second quarter, 21-14.
Yeah, so that's his second. I did say he was going to get it back again. I noticed Jet McGurk hasn't been super clean today. He's quick with his hands, is McGurk, but unfortunately he wasn't sticky. He could have been having that shot on goal instead of Oliver DePauli, but doesn't matter. DePauli's doing it, and he's doing it from his favoured side when it comes to the snaps. That's his second this quarter. A bit of a brain fade there by Oliver Kelly, giving away the free kick. Ball back in the middle. Wiggers versus Lockwood. Lockwood wins the tap. Picked up by Bo Nash. Breaks the tackle. Gets onto his favoured right side. Kicks out wide. Murphy Cohen being the target. Hawks falls over. Devonport used Fletcher Kelly. He throws it on his boot, but his kick's not a great one. And it's going to be out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Ulverstone Robins far side of the ground. Good pressure being applied by the Robins at the moment, Jacob.
Absolutely. So Ulverstone belted inside 50 towards the contest. Bo Nash's handball only went as far as Tyler Kelly. They work it through hands. Hawks got it back to Tyler Kelly, who was tackled there by Braden DeVries, but taken high. So Tyler Kelly will maintain possession here for the Magpies. On the near side of the ground, goes short to Kynan Lee. Handballs it off. Here's Jake Nash receiving a kick. He's got a lot of time and space inside 50. They crash the pack. Lockie Kelly might have been taken high. He was. And just like before, he'll be kicking from an angle.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little bit rough. I reckon that might have been just in the arm hole where your arm comes through, there by Bo Clemens. Umpire possibly just wasn't quite in the right position.
Now, he did kick it short to low there, but umpire wasn't ready. So here's Kelly, Lockie Kelly that is. Prominent goal kicker for the Magpies. It's on its way. It's through. So after a couple of misses, he's got one finally. And it's back to a 1-point ball game.
Best kind of pressure to apply scoreboard pressure. Lockie Kelly, 1 goal, 3 to his name. Needed that for his confidence as Wiggers comes off and big Bryce DeVries goes back on and he'll go straight into the ruck. And we have a chat amongst his comrades, including his brother. Find it interesting that they're running Ulverstone Clay Griffiths on the wing as opposed to a key position either forward or back. So obviously trying to marshal the troops. It's up against the more fleet-footed Bo Bramich. Declan Lee wins the tap. Bryce DeVries picks it back up. Kicks the ball forward. Nash, DePauli. Unable to get their hands on it. Good follow-up tackle there by Bryce DeVries. And Fletcher Kelly's not happy with the treatment that DeVries placed on his teammate. We'll get another ball up.
So they go out in the ruck. Bryce DeVries tapped it down towards Bo Nash. He got a boot to ball, but it was a high up and under. Trying to pick it up there and go with it is Declan Lee. In fact, there's multiple players in amongst it there. Braden Van Buren, another one. And the ball's been locked up, so a ball up in the centre square of the ground. They work it through hands here, the Magpies. Keegan Lowe kicks it to the 50 in the Quade Bayard direction, who's one-on-one with Ethan Bond. It falls out the back. Dawson was able to beat Mason to the footy and then handball it off to Quayle, who did well there through traffic, and then flicked it over to Flanagan, who ran into one and then tried to get through another, and he's been pinged, according to the umpire holding the ball, and here's Quade Bayard.
So Q decides to step off 1 foot, kick long towards the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Braden DeVries is there front and centre. Finds Nash. Nash still inside the defensive 50 for the Robins. Decides to go towards the boundary. Not sure of what he was trying to do. He ends up throwing it on the boot, but this time under pressure. Target was Blair. Kelly came over the top with a fist. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have another boundary throw in. 9-minute mark. 21 plays 20. A point the difference. Favourite to the Robins. Robins kicking to the right of your screen. Magpies to the left. Levy DeVries. No one able to take it cleanly. Braden wrapped up in a tackle there by Quade Bayard. And according to the umpire, it's a free kick. So DeVries will be the recipient.
So DeVries on the far side of the ground. Called to play on. He kicks it as far as he can. Fletcher Kelly's there, so too Jackson Blair, but well done there by Fletcher Kelly. Was able to see it out of play for a boundary throw-in.
It's been pivotal for the Magpies throughout the course of this match so far.
Absolutely. Just reads the footy so well. So Declan Lee only pushed it as far as Quayle. Kicks it to centre half forward. They crash and bash. Here's Kelly again, but Bond is really hunting for the footy. Can't quite get a handle on it though. And now wrapped up with the footy, there is Keegan Lowe, and we're going to get a ball up in the centre square.
So forward of centre for the Robins, kicking to the right of screen. It's a real arm wrestle. Lee, Declan, gets it down, but Bryce DeVries takes it away, throws it onto his boot, end over end it goes, bounces, Blair at the front, kicks across his body. Will he be given the all clear? Yes, he does. Great conversion there by Jackson Blair, front and centre from the contest. And they move out to a 7-point lead to the Ulverstone Robins. 4-3-27. Devonport Magpies 2-8-20 at the 11-minute mark of term number 2.
Prominent goal kicker for the Robins. He can kick a good goal there, Jackson Blair. And, of course, today's First Responders Day here at Ulverstone. And
I was about to mention that.
He's a policeman. So, hopefully there's a few first responders out there today.
Looks like he's coming out onto the wing, so where's Griffiths gone?
While Xavier tries to spot him back in the middle. DePoli, Q-Bank received it there from Bo Nash, goes inside 50. Murphy Cowan was able to do well. Reeled it in.
He's gone forward too, is Griffiths. So they're changing it up. The Ulverstone Robins. At the moment, they're catching Devonport on the hop.
Yeah, they absolutely are. 7 points the margin, and here's Luke Murphy-Cohen, who I think by his own admission he'd like to have kicked a few more this season. Kicked 20 goals. He's got a chance to kick his first of the game. He's got it. And he celebrates like he's kicked a snag, and that's exactly what he's done. So they kick away, the Robins, as we tick over halfway in this second quarter.
As I mentioned before, best type of pressure is scoreboard pressure, and they're taking the most of their opportunities. And well-known goal kicker, Luke Murphy-Cohen, that's what he was recruited for, coming out of the NTFA. To the Ulverstone Robins. He's a playing assistant coach. He certainly is contributing. That's his second. Got a Joe the Goose in the first quarter. That time, duly converted after a terrific contested mark. Lowe kicks the ball away from the contest there in the middle of the ground. A good mark running back. The flight of the football goes to Bond. He goes wide. Finds the first responder in Blair. Blair's got Clemens, chooses not to go there, goes further afield. Is that Claridge back on the ground? It is indeed. So that's a miracle recovery. Comes back to Blair. Blair goes back to Nash. Nash is looking, what is he going to do? Applying the Shepherd with Flanagan. Allows Nash to get his kick away. It's back to Ethan Bond, who started it all. His kick goes awry, lands in the hands of the Devonport Magpies.
And he's got a free man, and that's Kynan Lee, I think it is, on the far side of the ground. Kicks it towards Lockie Kelly. Brilliant.
think that might have been Declan Lee. Yeah, Declan Lee that kicked it in. Older brother. That was a good mark. Terrific mark.
He's kicked one already. Has Lockie Kelly. He's going to waste no time. He goes to the check side and nails it beautifully. Quick response there by Devonport.
So margin back to 7 points. There we go to 5-3. Ulverstone Robins leading the Devonport Magpies 3-8. So 33 plays at 26. So 7 points the margin in favour of the Robins. We're coming up to almost the 15-minute mark of term number 2. And it's a seesawing contest. Interesting noticing the runner for one of the runners for the Devonport Magpies is none other than the VFL's Joey Chaplin. So Joey getting a bit of a opportunity to run the legs out throughout the course of today's proceedings. DeVries to his brother, so Bryce to Braden, inside forward 50. Kelly gets back. What a fist. Fletcher Kelly. How pivotal he is just reading the football. Reminds me of Tom Stewart for the Geelong Cats. Jeez, I tell you what, he was good last night too, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
So we're going to go to boundary throw-in at the 15-minute mark. Inside the forward 50 on the far side of the ground for the Ulverstone Robins.
Lockwood and Bryce DeVries do battle in the ruck. Lockwood wins it, lands towards Ollie Kelly, but he was dispossessed straight away. Here's Ollie DePoli Qbank combining with Bryce DeVries and then going for home as this goal number 3 doesn't quite have the legs. Hawks and Merva Cohen there on the last line of defence, but it's been seen over for a behind.
So kick-in will be taken by Kelly. Comes in. Kicks long towards the centre of the ground. Good fist there by Tyson. They still knock the ball forward. That was by Van Buren. Low tries to get back there. Is that Quayle with him? He's taken across the boundary line. We're going to get a boundary throw-in. In fact, that was Jacob Roots. So boundary throw-in. DeVries from Lockwood. Good tackle applied by Nash on Ryan. Young Jake Nash steals the ball, kicks inside forward 50 for the Magpies. Oh, no mark, almost to Bo Clements. Mopping up across the body. He's got 3 in this term. Lockie Kelly is on fire. So he's got 3 goals, 3 to his name. And it's a point the difference. 33 will now play 34. So the Ulverstone Robins, whilst they'd got themselves out to an 11-point margin, at one stage, in fact it might have been 13 at one stage, they kicked away. It's now 1 point the difference, or actually it's 2 points the difference. 5-4 plays 4-8, 34 plays 32 at the 17-minute mark.
Yeah, it's happened so quickly too. Didn't feel like long ago that Ulverstone were getting a little bit of momentum, but Devonport have found the momentum back. So back we go. Wiggers and Lockwood doing battle in the ruck. Here's Ollie Kelly. Spills out, but the umpire has paid a pushing in the back here, so it's going to come back to Ollie Kelly. It was Todman who gave it away. So Kelly just sets it up inside 50. It's to the advantage of Dawson, but he dropped the mark. Here's Kelly again. Tried to step around one, and then his kick was affected by the tackle. And now we're going to get a ball up top of the goal square for the Magpies.
Some of the players under heat, struggling to be clean with the football.
Butler was able to tap it down. Spills out to Bo Bramage. Handballs it off to Ryan. Sends it back towards the goal square. Clark nearly took a defensive mark. Castle's got down and dirty. Stan Tyson there as well. There's players all over the footy. Umpire's blowing his whistle though. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Clements.
They release to the Robins here, and this comes through Bond. Good kick, finds Claridge. It's been a burst of energy since coming back after that knee. The mark should have been almost taken there by Wiggers, wasn't, so Lockwood's able to take the footy away, throws it onto his left boot. Big pack converges. No one's able to take the ball cleanly. Clark gets it and gets taken out of it. Comes to Ryan. He feeds the ball back to Lee. Big Declan. Caught in a tackle. Gets his handball. No one able to take the ball cleanly. It's been wrapped up in a tackle. That being applied by Braden Butler. And we'll have a ball up inside the forward 50 grandstand side of the ground. 2 points the difference at the 19-minute mark of term number 2. It's in favour of the home side. That's the Ulverstone Robins. They're kicking to the right of screen. As Fletcher Kelly comes off, changes with Braden Van Buren. It's the quality of their outfit. Kynan Lee throws it onto the boot. Top of the goal square. No one able to take the mark. Danger for the Robins. Flanagan though. Steady hand. And now by foot. Releases. Almost a mark to Braden DeVries over the top of Kynan Lee. No one's able to take it cleanly. Braden DeVries doesn't take kindly to what Kynan Lee did with his foot. And a ball up will be the result.
Inside 50 for the Magpies. Here's DePoli Qbank. His handball didn't really find a target. He went back in for a second crack. Ulverstone, they're able to work their way outside defensive 50. Wiggers to Braden DeVries. Kicks it down the ground. Hawks was first to the footy. Murphy Cohen did well with the tackle. And then dropping the footy completely there was Claridge. And as a result, it's going to be a free kick going the way of Evan Lockwood.
Shown good agility in the last couple of contests.
Absolutely. Hawks now just outside the centre square, looking to go inside to Kurt Mason. And then out wide to Braden Van Buren.
So Braden Van Buren on holidays at the moment. School teacher, St Brendan Shaw College, finds Mason. Looks to get the hands back. They choose not to go that direction. Further afield. It's in the hands of Caleb Van Buren now. He goes short. And the lead up there by Stan Tyson. He's going to be kicking though from the sandpit. So he'll be right on his distance, one would imagine. Won't be all that conducive to kicking, I would have thought. Because when you plant your foot, it's going to slip. So interesting to see what he chooses to do here. Whether he kicks from outside of that sand. Or he looks for a lead. I think he's still looking for a lead. As Keegan Lowe makes his way back onto the ground for Blair Ryan. He kicks from outside the sand, about 15 metres out. Dawson, ball comes down. Bond, lucks a fortune, lands in the hands of Xavier Todman, the X-Man.
So Todman, straight to centre half back where Wiggers is. He takes the mark. He's looking out wide to DePoli Qbank, who takes the mark. Now what does he do? He's kicked a couple of excellent goals in this game so far. He kicks it to the lead of Murphy Cohen. Just waiting for the moment. Now points deep. That's exactly where he goes. Griffiths is there. So too is Lockwood. Ball just bobbling around for the moment. Comes out to Braden Van Buren. And then he kicks it into the hands of Hawks. So Hawks on the back flank. Called to play on there by the umpire. Kicks it high to centre wing. Butler, did he get the mark? He did. Progresses inside 50. Clark, it was number 18, Roots, who did very well in front of Quade Bayard. And then kicks it out wide. Murphy Cohen happy to see it out of play on the centre wing on the far side.
So I thought he got dealt with then unduly across the boundary line, but no, says the umpire. Now, ball in. Charlie Castle comes off, and on comes Quade Bayard. Got some depth, the Devonport Magpies, as they rotate that interchange. Lockwood taps it down towards his teammate, kicks it straight into Ulverstone, to Poley. Back to Quayle, back this time to Nash. Nash on the right boot to a contest. No one able to take it cleanly. Comes out to Oliver Kelly. Over to his teammate there in Forster. Forster's kick's a good one. That finds Bramich. Bramich goes further afield to Keegan Lowe. And he's, a leading player who's gone down. Didn't look good. That's Kurt Mason, I think. Ball goes wide and the shot on goal, and it's just to the near side, and I think he might have hurt his knee. And that shifting surface is causing some real problems here today, Jacob.
So Flanagan to take the kick out. Kicks it out towards Todman. He's just got to compete here with Caleb Van Buren. He didn't mark it, but he did well to get it back. Roots and McGurk, and now handballing it off to Todman. Kicks it towards Blair. He was one with Braden Van Buren. It falls out the back to Griffiths. Here's a chance for Wiggers. Goes inside 50. Mason got to it first. Didn't quite reach Murphy Cohen. Hence coming in here is Jackson Blair. Kicks it towards the pocket. And coming in to collect it there was Braden Van Buren. He kicks it out towards the flank, but it might come back in here. Here's Nash. Good kick. Finds Lambry.
Tough kick from there. We're deep into the second term, almost 25-minute mark. No real win to speak of.
So a point the difference, this to make it 7 points, of course. He wheels around, he gives it a good go, and that is a brilliant goal.
Might see that on the socials as well a bit later on in the week. Good kick. Just gives them that buffer too, leading in towards half-time. And they've been the more efficient of the two sides out on the park here today in the first half.
Absolutely. It's been a very competitive game so far.
It has. And making the changes again. Devonport utilising their change through the interchange, whereas Ulverstone more about moving the chess pieces on the field. Still rotating, not as heavily as what the Devonport Magpies are. It's the ball back in the middle. Wiggers wins it down. Who's first on it? That looked like Lowe. Feeds it out to Van Buren. Braden variety. His kick. Almost taken there by Quayle. Comes out to Castles. Castles feeds it back in towards Ryan. Ryan's kick. Oh, what a mark! What a ripping mark taken there by the boy from King Island. Bowen Clemens. A better one you will not see. Kicks towards half forward for the Devonport Magpies, and standing up in the contest there was Lockwood. Feeds it back to Mason quickly. Inside forward 50. We're under pressure. No one able to take the mark as the siren sounds. Up over the back was the Devonport Magpies, but I think the fist there by Bowen Clemens. That was Lockie Kelly going over the top, and the boys are getting around Bowen Clemens now, patting him on the head for that defensive effort, as well as the mark before. What courage by the young man. At half-time, though, we see it being a 7-point margin in favour of the Ulverstone Robins. 6-4-40. Devonport Magpies 4-9-33. Goal kickers for the Devonport Magpies. Jacob.
Yeah, well, we've seen DePauli Hubank kick a couple of ripping goals. Murphy Collins also kicked two, and then Lambry and Blair with singles. So that's 6 goals, isn't it?
I think it is.
Yep, I'm just making sure I've got them right on my my notebook here. And then as for Devonport, well, 3 to Lockie Kelly, and 1 there to Caleb Van Buren, who kicked one earlier on in the first quarter. So there you go, kickers, for what has been a pretty good game so far.
Yeah, that second quarter was good too with regards to the amount of scoring shots that both sides had. So it was pretty even. 5 to Ulverstone and 6 to Devonport, and ended up being a 4-goal 1 quarter to the Ulverstone Robins as opposed to a 3-goal 3 quarter by the Devonport Magpies. So they've had their opportunities, and in total, believe it or not, the Devonport Magpies have had 3 more scoring shots, and they're still trailing the Ulverstone Robins. So interesting what pressure can do when it's been applied on the scoreboard. The earlier game today, we saw the Ulverstone Robins go down in the Development League against the Devonport Magpies, 4-5-29. The Robins hosting the Magpies 12-12-84. So convincing defeat there, so by 55 points in favour of the Devonport Magpies. The other game that is going on, or has just finished, and that was played at Wynyard in the NWFL Terry White Chemmart Senior Women's Competition, which is round 14 by that. It's the Wynyard women who have won by 97 points, 14-19, 103. Super convincing against the Circular Head Saints, 1 straight 6. Some better players, Jacob, for the Ulverstone Ulverstone side in that second quarter?
Well, we've probably got to put Bowen Clemens in for that mark towards the end. He's done very well in defence. In fact, they've defended all beautifully, Ulverstone as a whole. DePoli Qbank goes in there. Murphy Cohen's done his bit with a couple. Braden DeVries probably has to go in there as well, and could even chuck someone in like a Jordan Quayle. He's been very busy off half-back.
He has. He's sort of inconspicuous, but he does a lot of the bullocking work in and around, doesn't he? Because Geordie Quayle, as well as setting his team up. For the Devonport Magpies, well, in that quarter, I thought Blair Ryan was pretty prominent throughout the course. Jake Nash again got his hands on the football. The Kelly boys across the middle, but in particular down back, Fletcher Kelly, I think he's been the main disturber, for want of a better term, disturbance for the Ulverstone Robins any time they try to bring the football inside their forward 50. Charlie Castles hasn't got his hands on the football, and this is something they're going to have to look at. Neither has Caleb Van Buren. Kurt Mason as often, or Braden Van Buren, as much as they would like to see. One of the better players also for the Devonport Magpies in that quarter, I thought, Kindly, and it was a couple of times there with his brother in the ruck. They worked as a nice little tandem in that second term. But at half-time, we see the Ulverstone Robins leading the Devonport Magpies by 7 points. We're going to take a break. We look forward to catching you for the second half. Excuse me, very shortly.
Hi, I can see Lois. Hi. Yeah.
Cool.
How's your birthday, Miss Ava? Good? Good day. Wowee. How you been? Yeah, good. Good at home. Yeah. I'm a bit hungover today. Yeah. I'm very hungover actually, to be fair. Hello, how are you? How you doing? Moving? Yeah. How's your holiday? Oh, learning experience. Just a lot of car troubles and stuff. I did get a drink. You know what? I'm a little kid around
no avoiding it.
Welcome back to AFL Tas live stream for the round 13 match between first place Devonport Magpies and our hosts, the third placed Ulverstone Robins. And it's the Robins that lead by 7 points as we start the second half. Your caller is Mr. Jacob Bevis.
Underway in the third quarter, Bryce DeVries was able to win the hit out there against Evan Lockwood and got the clearance too. Billy Sharman lost his man but just couldn't quite run onto the footy in the end. Here's Braden Van Buren was able to shrug off his opponent, but his kick wasn't great. It was out of bounds on the full. So a free kick here to the Robins. Clay Griffiths takes it. He kicks it inside 50. Braden DeVries was muscled out there by Fletcher Kelly. Ball's at centre half forward here for the Robins. Spills out to Jackson Blair, but his kick has been turned over. Griffiths now came bursting in. DePoli, Qbank, Bo Nash. They're close to the boundary line. Handballs it inboard to Clark. Tries to get a handle on it. Was able to fumble it there to Braden DeVries inside 50. Murphy Cohen couldn't quite run onto it in the end. Bursting through there was McGurk. He handballed it off to Braden DeVries. He had all the time in the world to execute that one, but the snap was well wide.
I mentioned about Jet McGurk and needing to be clean with his hands. Well, he was that time, and that was electric by the Jet. Unfortunately, DeVries was unable to convert. Had the opportunity. So Devonport will take the free kick. Not sure what to do with it. Decide now to go down the boundary line to a pack of players. No one's able to cleanly take it. Ulverstone have their mitts on it. So does Bo Bramich. Ball goes across the boundary line. We're going to have a boundary throw in. 6-4 plays 4-9. 40 plays 33. Advantage to the Ulverstone Robins. Kicking to the left of screen. Start of the third term. Bryce DeVries gets a handle on it. Ball gets kicked off the ground twice. Second time by Quade Byard. Then Caleb Van Buren knocks it forward. Looking for Ryan. Unable to take it. Bo Nash does it though. Hands it back to his half-back who kicks the ball back in towards the centre. Flanagan up in between two Magpies. Brings the ball to ground. DePoli helps him. Then they feed it back to DePoli. Oh, coming through. Is that Quayle? Was he legged? He was. So he will receive the free kick and take it across half-back.
Looks out to Griffiths on the near side of the ground. He takes the mark. And then quickly through foot to Flanagan, who sends it in the direction of Murphy Cohen. Just couldn't quite take the mark in the end. Now there's appeals here for holding the ball that he dragged it back in, but the umpire says, I'll have it.
He's not happy with the treatment he's receiving, and they're going on with it. Kelly's not happy. That's Fletcher. Umpire says, I just want the pill.
So ball up just inside 50 for the Robins, who have done well in this game so far. He couldn't, could he? DePoli Qbank, he's kicked that well wide.
They've had two shots on goal, both of them for out of bounds on the full. Hawks brings the football back in. That's a poor kick. Mark has been taken there by Bo Nash. He's going to have the opportunity of the shot on goal. Murphy Cohen goes up and tells Benny Hawks. And well, he did. So we're right behind him. Bo Nash. Kicking from just out on the 40. Goes in a little bit of a trot. And hooks the ball. Draws it. Just to the near side, and it goes through for one behind. So they've got one behind and two out of bounds on the full in the first part of the second half.
How about that as well? His brother Jake was on the mark there, playing for the opposition, of course. So here's Braden Van Buren kicking it into the centre of the ground. It slips through the hands of Kurt Mason. They all bash and crash as it comes out here for Ethan Bond. He gets a kick away. Ollie DePoli, Q-Bank direction, and he did well. He took the mark. It was a contested mark too. And kicks it to the lead of Murphy Cohen. Just couldn't quite take the mark. Here's one of the Kellys trying to bustle his way through, and he threw it.
And it's on again. Murphy Cohen.
So it's Jackson Blair. No, yeah, Jackson Blair who's going to get the free out of 52. So this is going to be probably a certain goal, you'd think. Jackson Blair's already kicked one, and there's a bit happening as Blair runs to the top of the goal square and puts it through over the fence. So they get the first of the third quarter here, the Robins.
Might have been Bo Bramage that actually gave away the 50-metre penalty coming in. Trying to support Oliver Kelly. I noticed at half-time too, just looking at the board there for the Ulverstone Robins, that Oliver Kelly's name was listed. So it'll be interesting to see whether they're planning on putting some physical pressure on Oliver Kelly to put him off his game.
Hope they're not listening. They know you're spying on their board.
Away they go. It comes to Sharman, to Flanagan. Loses it. Lockwood. Inside forward 50. Race on. Kelly knocks it back towards Lockie. That's Oliver. Over to Q. Quade Byard misses his handball target, being Oliver Kelly. Ball rolls out of bounds right in front of former mudflap, Justin Clark.
Declan Lee in the ruck with Ben Dawson. Lee was able to win the hit out there. Hits it towards Kynan Lee. And the ball has been wrapped up. Same two ruckman again. Dawson just grabbed it out of the ruck. It was a high up and under towards centre half back. It comes off hands. Now that was brilliant there by Wiggers, who works it. It was Sharman actually who worked it out towards Wiggers. Now Braden Van Buren did well. Got it to Kelly. Here's Jake Nash, Van Buren of the Braden variety. Handballs it off to Hingston, working it out to the far wing, and Bo Bramage was able to take the mark.
So Bramage has got it now across half back. Looks inboard. Target. It's been taken there by Lockwood. Kicks the ball inside forward 50. That's a poor kick. Taken away there by Clemens. Clemens' kick is just as bad. And the mark has been taken or intercepted by Jake Nash. He looks inboard and finds Blair Ryan right on the top of the 40-metre arc here at Ulverstone. So he's inside the centre square. Looking for a lead. He gets one. It's Caleb Van Buren. How did he find that space all by himself? That's poor checking by the Ulverstone Robins. I think Liam Flanagan knows it. And Caleb Van Buren, known as a sharpshooter for the Devonport Magpies. One of the co-captains with his brother. Is going to be lining up to put their first through. Each time they get a lead, Jacob, they tend to kick themselves in the foot a little bit, the Ulverstone Robins.
It's going to be the test, especially as we get towards the back end of this game.
So coming in now, very deliberately. Van Buren, it's a good-looking kick across. But it might have just faded. It has, and it has gone through for one behind.
So DePoli played on from the kick out and then sent it into the reliable hands of Clemens. Kicks it out wide to Blair.
Roll back out.
Just wants someone to lead. Does Blair. Decides to kick it to the wing. Braden DeVries direction. Tried to lean back and take it, but wasn't going to be able to do that against Fletcher Kelly, who won the battle there in the end. Now here's Hingston inside defensive 50 and then goes short to Spears. He kicks it long and low towards Caleb Van Buren. Backwards handball worked out well to Forster. And now Bayard from outside 50. Squares it up in the Castles direction. He takes the mark and dribbles it through.
Too good.
That was brilliant.
Great ball movement there by the Devonport Magpies. That's his first. He's opportunistic is Charlie Castles. And today, that was good, a running pattern. And good kick there by Quade Bayard. Great vision to bring the ball back in that way.
Missed a large part of the season too, didn't he, Bayard? But he's been back for a few weeks now.
Yeah, soft tissue injuries for Quade. Getting on in age these days. Had a knee early in his career. Lockwood wins the tap this time. Topoli tries to take it away. I thought he was grabbed when he doesn't have it by Lee. According to the umpire, that's play on. Ball's not going anywhere, but we're centre forward for the Devonport Magpies. Still inside the centre square as Oliver Kelly gets up from the bottom of the pack. Tapped down by Lockwood. Kelly. Oliver gets it to Lockwood. Throws on his left boot. Standing in front was Tyson. Must have been touched. Israel held up in a tackle. And we're going to get a ball up top of the 50-metre arc for Devonport Magpies.
Here's Ollie Kelly. Got a handball out. Plenty of players around the footy here. Castle's trying to get on the end of it, but the Robins are able to clear out here through Lambury, but it's going to be back in the hands of Devonport after the last disposal rule comes into play there. 7 points the margin. Ulverstone leading this one in the third quarter. Kynan Lee kicks it into Keegan Lowe. He's in a little bit of trouble. Got to kick away though. Bouncing ball over the head of Forster. Now, chance here for the Magpies perhaps. It's a scrambling footy. Forster out wide. Only kicks it in the direction of Clark. And then he goes short out there to Griffiths.
Griffiths got the football, comes inboard. Ooh, thought he might have chopped off more than he could chew. Kicks a good one. It's in the hands of Xavier Topman. So the X-Man goes wide, finds Blair. Blair wastes no time. Kicks the ball out in front of Topoli. Down on that far side, looks for Quayle. On the fly. Shares it with Murphy Cohen. He's got the Vries inboard. Decides to have a shot on goal himself. Right across the face. And sneaks in for one behind.
Braden Van Buren goes short to Keegan Lowe. Goes with a long kick to the wing. Gee, that's a good mark out there on the far side of the ground. I think it might have been Lockie Kelly who kicks it long to Blair Ryan. And then he kicks it inside 50. Ulverstone have the numbers though. Devonport player there dispossessed. It was Butler, and the ball's been locked up inside 50 for the Magpies.
So ball up will be the result. 48 plays 40, 8 points the margin. A free kick has been given away here by Braden Van Buren. And it's going to the tip rat, Mickey Lene, in the centre of the ground. So they've just given up 60 metres. So the tip rat plays on, goes wide. Finds a teammate, might have been Lamprey. Into Braden de Vries. Goes further afield and wide. And this time, sticky fingers of Jet McGurk takes the mark on his chest. You know, the opportunity to duly convert. And that might just relieve a little bit of tension. They might be building from the resurgence of the Magpies. Going back onto the field is Johnny de Vries, and it's just been met there by Blair Ryan. So a kick by the Jet. Looks good off the boot. Straight over the goal umpire's head. And that's one that they fully deserve. to the Ulverstone Robins, and the Tip Rat's back into the middle, and he's making himself known with Lowe and Kelly. Umpire's asking him to settle it down, but they move themselves out to a 14-point margin. Might be game high too, Jacob. It's 8-6, plays 5-10.
Gee, good kick there by McGurk. Kicking 5 last week, so of course that's his first, but no doubt a great kicker of the footy. So back in the middle we go. Wiggers to do battle here with Lockwood. Lockwood wins the hit out there. Jackson Blair trying to go with it. He was held according to the umpire, so free kick here to the home team. Went to handball it off. Instead, just boots it inside 50 to the direction of Murphy Cohen. Here's Linane. McGurk for his second. It was touched on the way through. Gee, that would have been good for Jet McGurk. A couple in quick succession, but not to be.
They've got the momentum currently. Mind you, it's seesawed throughout. As Mason kicks the ball in for the Devonport Magpies. Lockwood takes a good mark. And the shifting surface on that far half forward for the Ulverstone Robins. Good mark in front of Butler's taken there by Benny Dawson. Players wearing the bands there for first responders on their arms, the red and blue. All first responders get entry into the gate today, as well as a drink and something to eat from the canteen. McGurk over the back, unable to take the mark. He was third person back. Hingston wants to say good day to DeVries. Braden's very happy to. And gives a bump to Kelly. Boundary thrown will be the result. 55 plays 40. Half forward for the Ulverstone Robins. Lockwood taps it straight down. Lee's kick smothered. Ball going nowhere. We're going to do it all again.
Been a few little niggles today throughout the game. So a ball up on the far side of the ground. Now what's happened here? The umpire.
Free kick off the ball.
So free kick off the ball.
Yeah, Todman got hold of Kelly. Falling over there is Hingston in that sand patch.
So Kelly into the centre towards Caleb Van Buren, but that was a good intercept there by Mickey Linane. Read that very well. Wants to pump it inside 50, does he? No, he goes out wide to Quayle. And then Quayle progresses to McGurk. Kick the last goal. Goes sideways to Jackson Blair. Kicks from the sand towards the top of the goal square. Good mark there by Hawks. Mickey Linane was there, but Hawks was able to get on the end of it. Kicks it out towards Mason. He's got to get rid of it quickly because Griffiths was coming for him. Flanagan overran the footy, and now Bo Nash in possession, but he's been tackled by Kurt Mason, and we're going to get a ball up very close to where we're positioned.
Yeah, that was disappointing decision making there by Jackson Blair. He had players out here on the opposite side of the ground all by themselves, so poor distribution by Jackson Blair. Need to get his eyes up as opposed to going back to the top of the goal square. Taking it away and getting his boot to ball was Lamprey. To Poley, feigns a kick on Hingston, then finally gets it in front of Spears. Ball goes straight. Oh, that's a good mark. Has it been paid to DeVries? No, play on. Lamprey followed up. Open goal. 6 points beckons. Margin out to 21. They go to 61. 9-7, 61. Plays 5-10, 40. And they have all the momentum at the moment. Things are pointing in the right direction. Jacob Bevis for the Ulverstone Robins.
Yes, absolutely. They are. Yeah, no, they're dominating this third quarter, that's for sure. And it's showing on the scoreboard. Could there be an upset brewing? We're just about to tick in to time on in the third term.
That's his second too. One in the second, one in the third.
It's been good today, has Lamprey. So back in the middle. Lockwood wins the hit out. Here's DePoli Qbank snapping it around the body towards Sharman, one-on-one with Tyler Kelly. It falls out the back.
Oh.
Here's Sharman running onto it. Here's Braden DeVries for another one for the home team. He just couldn't quite find the centre of the sticks there. He's done that a couple of times today. And it's a behind. 62-40. Ulverstone in front.
Kick in by Hawks. Goes wide. That's a poor kick in. Is he going to find the boundary line? It is. So it's going to be a lasso free kick. And it's going to go to Flanagan. So Flanagan. And those long dreads. Kicks to a pack. No one able to take the mark. Taking it away was Braden Van Buren. Throws it forward. Comes back out towards Big Bryce de Vries. His tackle. Loses the football. They share it to Devonport. Caleb Van Buren. Then he gives it over to Keegan Lowe. Lowe's got Bramage. Uses him. Wide. He's going to go short back to Caleb Van Buren. Good running. And that was a great passage of play. Smart, steady, experienced heads using the football back through the middle. And he was the third chain in the cog. Caleb Van Buren. And then he got on the end of it again. So smart play. Lowered his eyes, did Bramage as he brought the footy back in towards the centre. And they'll be a bit disappointed with that, I would imagine, the coaching. What's going on there? There's turning the footy over for some reason.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
So, going from a shot on goal. Someone might have said something. So Clark gets his kick forward to Polly. Got his hands on the quill. Throws it on his non-dominant side. Blair, good mark in front. Takes it centre wing position. Kicks the ball long. Inside forward 50. Murphy Cohen the target. Asking for a free or looking for one from Ben Hawks. Umpire Phil McCulloch says no. Ball goes across the boundary line. They'll have a boundary throw in.
Gee, I reckon Justin Rodman won't be happy with what just transpired there.
The shake of the head of just watching Junior down on the boundary line. He doesn't look happy.
So it's inside 50 for Ulverstone. Bryce de Vries and Lockwood. Lockwood wins the hit out there. Sharman overran the footy. Comes out to centre half forward. Jed McGurk couldn't quite get to it. Flanagan receives it. Ball just bobbling around for the moment. No one can really get a clear handle on it. Hingston had it for a moment. They're having a bit of a play in the sand as the umpire blows his whistle and it's a free kick.
Yeah, but it's the umpire that's off the play. So it was Phil McCulloch deep in towards the goal square, and he's called it. So different angle.
It's going to be Flanagan.
It's in that shifting surface too, so It might be difficult in order to be able to get the distance.
Be kicking from just on the paint, you'd think. Gee, gives it a good go, but misses it. At all the distance, but just couldn't quite get the accuracy right.
So it's heading towards the 23-minute mark of the third term. And it's 63 plays 40, 23 points to margin in favour of the Ulverstone Robins. They're kicking to the left of your screen. Bringing it out this time was Kelly. So Tyler kicks the ball long. Good mark standing up in that. Lockwood, he's been strong today. Uses that left leg of his. Good defence across the wing. Being applied there by the King of King Island, Bo Clemens, over his opponent. And we're going to get a boundary throw in. Centre wing position, far side of the ground.
Ball comes back into play. Even contest between Lockwood and De Vries. Blair Ryan read it well and off he goes. He takes a bounce. He runs inside 50. He looks towards the sticks. He kicks it in the direction of Lockie Kelly, who was there, but it's been missed to the right. And it's going to be a minor score. 3-1 in this third term, the way of Ulverstone.
Clemens brings the ball back in, looking for McGurk. Makes a contest of it. De Vries, Braden, at the bottom of the pack. Feeds it to Jonty. That's his brother. He kicks the ball end over end, but straight through the middle of the ground. There's the tip rat. Is he going to get there first? He falls over in the sandpit, so Devonport are able to get a little bit of a reprieve. It's into the hands of Forster. He throws it onto the boots. Not a good looking kick. Who's going to be there first? Is it the Robins? Jonty De Vries. It is indeed. Tries to get his hands free. Ball goes to ground. There's the tip rat. Feeds it to his teammate. And Sharman's wrapped up in a tackle. Might have been a bit slow. Has he had time? Yes, according to the umpire. And a free kick will go to the Magpies.
It's always good in that scenario, Fletcher Kelly. Fletcher Kelly demanding the footy back there, so he kicks it into the centre square to Tyler Kelly. Now tries to go to Keegan Lowe, but only went as far as Jordan Quayle, the captain. And then inside 50, Murphy Cohen given time and space there. And he marks it on the chest. Long way from home, though, and, of course, kicking into the sand. Doesn't look overly confident, so he gives it a little bit of a ride. McGurk it was who crashed the pack, didn't quite mark. The ball is very close to the goal line. In fact, it is seen over by a bunch of players for a minor score.
Now peppering the goals in this third term, the Ulverstone Robins haven't quite been able to make the most of it. And on the scoreboard, punch there by Flanagan. According to the umpire, he pushed Van Buren, Caleb Variety in the back beforehand. So the free kick will go to Caleb Van Buren at the 25.5 minute mark. Most quarters only gone 26, 27 minutes, so I assume this won't be any different based on the scoring. Fletcher Kelly takes the mark, centre of the ground. He had Jake Nash going with him. Chooses not to use him. Ball comes back to Kelly. Oh, he's maybe turned it over. Held in the kick. Kick didn't go fast. Taken by Clark. Wrapped up by Tyson. We'll get a ball up centre forward for the Devonport Magpies at the 26 minute mark of term number 3.
Bryce DeVries tries to hit it down the throat there of Lambury. Jake Nash fed it out to Keegan Lowe. Tried to go off the deck, but it was a bit of a fresh area in the end. Now, the umpires paid a free kick here for taken by the leg.
Some uncharacteristic mistakes by some of the Devonport Magpies today.
Caleb Van Buren inside 50. Butler takes the mark. He handballs it quickly to Bramich, who squares it up to Castles. It slips through his hands. Braden DeVries is there. Tried to clear the footy, but there were bodies in the way. Now here's a chance for Blair Ryan, who snaps it towards the sticks and just sneaks it in for a behind in the end.
That's his third behind today. Here's the other name that's on the board of the Ulverstone Robins at the moment. Him and Kelly have been prolific ball winners, so I imagine that's the reason why they were looking at those two particular players, along with Kine and Lee. Seeing what they can do and nullify that. And the kick out by Flanagan, right on the siren, at the 27 minute mark. Shows us that the Ulverstone Robins are 9. Can't quite pick that up over there.
9-10, I would say.
9-10, 9-10, 64. And the Devonport Magpies are 5-12, 42. So in that quarter, we had the Ulverstone Robins who kicked 3 goals, 6. So they had 9 opportunities, plus 2 out of bounds and as well. So 11 opportunities on goal today in that third term, whereas the Devonport Magpies, they had 1 goal, 3, so they had 4 opportunities in that third term. So very dominant quarter by the Ulverstone Robins. Goal scorers for the Ulverstone Robins, 2 goals each to Oliver Topoli, Luke Murford Cohen, Logan Lamprey, Jackson Blair. Single goal kicker there goes to Jet McGurk. For the Devonport Magpies, up front it's been Lockie Kelly, had a ripping second quarter. He kicked 3 goals. He's got 3-3 to his name. Single goal kickers also to Charlie Castles, the only goal scorer in the third term, and their captain Caleb Van Buren. Some of the better players for the Ulverstone Robins in that third term, Jacob Bevis.
Well, I don't know. There's been quite a few. Quite a few. Yeah, I mean, Bo Nash has had a good game. I mean, Ollie DePoli Q-Bank is pretty good every day and every game, I should say, and this is no exception. Do we chuck in Lambury? Like, he's done a couple of good things, couple of goals. He hasn't been too bad.
Absolutely.
Ethan Bond, Clemens from a defensive point of view. Quayle's had a bit of it. Like, the list goes on, really. It's been a good team performance, but they've got to keep it up for another quarter if they're going to win this. Yeah,
totally agree. People like Claridge, I mean, we talk about, I call him Superman, that's Clay Griffiths, but I mean, his positioning just and rallying the troops throughout the course of today's proceedings. So him and Blair towards the back end really contributed, had opportunities both on goal as well as decision making. His ball use at times maybe a little bit unconventional, but in saying that, I'd suggest the majority of their players are definitely contributing, whereas Devonport at the moment, they've been uncharacteristic with some of their mistakes, and I reckon that's been because of the pressure that's been applied both on the scoreboard as well as the physical pressure that the Ulverstone Robins have chosen to give, and at times they've given away uncharacteristic free kicks, one of those being when Caleb Van Buren had the opportunity to have that shot on goal, so the ball being turned over. Obviously, ball getters, Lowe, Nash and Ryan have all been prominent, along with the Kelly boys, Fletcher and Oliver. But in saying that, they were more subdued in that particular quarter. Lockie Kelly up front has been their main focal point with 3 goals, 3 to his name, but the majority of that has all been in the first half and really wasn't cited in that third term. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do at the 3-quarter time huddle. Justin Robin and company will no doubt be putting some plans in place in order to be able to run over the top of the Ulverstone Robins. Well, so we're going to take a break here from AFL Tas live stream at 3-quarter time in the round 13 fixture between the Ulverstone Robins, who are third place on the ladder, against the Devonport Magpies, first place on the ladder. We look forward to joining you in around about 5 minutes' time.
Hey, good, how are you?
Question. Toilets over on the side. I know they're locked. Oh, okay. Oh no, we just got from down there before. Yeah, right. No, thanks. I'm pretty right there. I wouldn't up on this way. No, we're just talking about it. We didn't know. Yeah, right. Where's the next one? Oh, this one. Yeah.
Welcome back to Ulverstone for the final term of this round 13 NWFL match between Ulverstone and Devonport. It's the Robins in front, and away we go in this last term. That scores 64-42 as we get another stoppage. Bryce DeVries and Lockwood who wins the hit out there. Blair Ryan ran onto it. His handball only to the advantage of Quayle. Kicks it forward. Spears got the advantage on McGurk there, who followed up with the tackle as soon as Spears collected it, and we're going to get a ball up on the far side of the ground. Ball just not quite going anywhere on that occasion, and we're going to get another stoppage.
Inside forward 50 for the Robins from the stoppage. No one able to take the ball cleanly except for Oliver Kelly. Gets his boot to it, up towards centre wing position. Ulverstone are there. Van Buren applies the tackle. Ball's going nowhere. We're going to get another ball up centre wing position, far side of the ground. Bryce DeVries gets it down. Castles feeds it back to Lowe. His kick's almost intercepted there by Dawson. Taken by Butler. Kicks inside forward 50. Out towards Tyson. Tyson back to Byard. Byard across the body. In front was Clemens. And he sees the ball across the boundary line and he'll hand it to the umpire in front of Kelly. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
So Dawson in the ruck with Butler. Throw in just landed over the ruckman's heads. Now we're going to get a stoppage inside 50 for Devonport. Phil McCulloch to throw it up. Dawson and Butler. Neither of them hit the footy, and then Dawson was able to collect and get a kick away, and it worked out well. Fell in the hands of Jackson Blair. Takes his time with the kick and then kicks it up towards the wing. That's a good mark there by McGurk.
He's classy when he's clean.
Starting to really step up in this second half is Jed McGurk. Looks inboard, instead kicks it towards the forward flank. Now Fletcher Kelly might have tapped it out of his own teammate's hands there in Braden Van Buren, and the ball spills out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Certainly did. Boundary throw-in will be the result. And there goes the Jet now, just past the contest, heading back inside forward 50. He's had a good second half so far. Looking to use him. Castles versus Nash. DeVries, Bryce takes it out of the ruck. Ball goes end over end, forward. Spears overruns the football, Oliver Kelly. And he's taken in a tackle. A tackle being applied by Jake Wiggers, and we'll have another ball up. Only 3.5 minutes in. Score hasn't changed. 64-9-10. Ulverstone Robins plays 5-12-42. Devonport Magpies as Fletcher Kelly receives a free kick against Jackson Blair. Not sure what to do. Decides to bring the ball back inside as he chopped. Taking off the... sorry, my apologies. He's hit his brother, who got the free kick. That's Oliver Kelly. Coming back, intercepting the football was Clay Griffiths. Finds McGurk, becoming prominent. Oh, Nash should have taken that. Lost the footy. Bo Bramage, inside forward 50 towards Tyson. Over the top, saving the day was Liam Flanagan. A little bit lazy there by Nash. Might be becoming a little bit fatigued.
Good intercept there, though, by Flanagan to find it out of play. So, chance here for Devonport. Inside their forward arc. Butler and Dawson. Neither of them hit the footy there on that occasion. Roots getting down and dirty, but couldn't quite get the disposal away. Blair Ryan came in and collected it, and then his handball missed Quade Byard, and as a result, it went out of play. So, boundary throw-in, 64-42. No goals to speak of as of yet in this final term. Butler and Dawson. Butler might have just won the hit out there on that occasion. Ball pinging around, spills out to Stan Tyson, who tries to snap one through, and he was successful. How about that for the first goal of the final term? And that could potentially start a run for Devonport.
That's what they've got to do, make the most of their opportunities. He's a good footballer, Stan Tyson.
Wasn't initially in the side, was he, today?
No, well, he's back in after injury, so cracked ribs. And also broken jaw. Lockwood gets the tap down from the centre square bounce. Kicked off the ground by Lowe. Who's going to be first there? Is that Mason being brought forward? Or Van Buren, in fact. Van Buren kicks on his non-dominant side. It's taken across half-back by Bond. Bond's kick. Good mark. Griffiths wastes no time. Gives it to Nash. Off to Topoli. Not sure what to do. Doesn't hesitate and releases it back to Flanagan. Oh, he's corralled in. Gives it back to Flanagan. They lose the football. Devonport applying the pressure. It's in the hands of Tyson. His kick though. Straight to Dawson, who intercepts across half-back.
So good at that, isn't he, Ben Dawson? Takes his time with the kick, though. It was just a floater in the end towards Clay Griffiths, but it put him under enormous pressure. Bo Nash was there, though. Handballed it off to Johnny DeVries, who kicks it down the ground towards the contest. That was Claridge, actually, who got the kick away. And, no, in fact, it was Johnny DeVries, and the ball goes out of play for a boundary throw-in.
Some indecisiveness coming in here for both sides. In particular, the Robins, as the boundary throw-in. Butler going the wrong way with Spears, able to be taken and intercepted by Bramage. His kick, Bond over the top, unable to take the mark. Dawson gets back first, feeds the ball wide. Clemens is in a race. He gets his hands onto it before Nash gets there, and they release the football across half-back. Or sort of, because he falls over himself. Not sure who that was for the Ulverstone Robins. Ball goes to ground. It's now in the hands of Devonport. Inside forward 50. Tyson feeds it to his teammate in Van Buren, who runs into an open goal. And here come the Magpies. That's their second of the term. And Ulverstone are yet to score in this final term. And they would have brought the margin odds back to around about 10 points. 54 plays 64. Caleb Van Buren with his second for the day.
Well, they're a good team, Devonport, we know. So they've got to be wary in this last quarter, Ulverstone. They've conceded the first couple.
They needed that margin in three-quarter time. And they're going backwards at a rate of knots.
Back we go in the middle. Gee, Blair Ryan was collected hard there. In the meantime, in fact, it is going to be a free kick to Blair Ryan.
Gremlins are sneaking in, aren't they?
So inside 50. Ollie Kelly crashed the pack. Didn't mark, though. Spills to Nash. And then he kicks it into the hands of Lambry. They get things moving quickly here, Ulverstone. DePoli Qbank under a little bit of pressure. Somehow got rid of it to Bo Nash, but his kick was straight to his brother, who plays for the other team. Fletcher Kelly now giving it off to Blair Ryan, who's got some time and space here. He goes for a bit of a run. He kicks it inside 50, and then taking the mark there for Devonport is Evan Lockwood. And wants to get things moving quickly, and does, to Quade Byard, who you'd think would have the shot here to reduce the margin to single digits.
Gremlins is just starting to sneak into the Ulverstone mindset.
So here's Byard, one of the all-time veterans of the NWFL, and he has missed it.
First score for the day for Quade Byard, and it's a minor. Margin now becomes 9 points. 7-13 plays 9-10. 64 plays 55. Topoli goes wide, finds Clark, the old mud flap. Got the new short back and sides. Ungainly kicking style was ineffective. And taking the mark there is Tyler Kelly. So Kelly, centre wing position, far side of the ground. Not sure what to do. Goes one way, goes the other, then brings it back inboard, looking for Forster under a heap of pressure. up to the task. Releases the handball to Mason. Goes to Jake Nash. That's a poor kick. Lucks of fortune and almost landed in the hands of Lockwood. He turned the footy over, and it looks like Jonty DeVries' kick is going to find at the boundary line, but unfortunately that's a lasso free kick, so it'll go back towards the Devonport Magpies.
It's going to be Charlie Castles to bring the footy back into play here. Crossed over 10 minutes in this final term. That kick nearly marked by DePoli Qbank, although he was able to recover and then handball it off to Bo Nash, who kicks it out wide to Murphy Cohen. Here they go, the Robins, perhaps. Murphy Cohen just waited for a second and then chipped it over the top to Lanane. Now numbers are starting to flood back here for both teams. So Mickey Lanane just setting it up, but only to the advantage of Spears, who takes the mark. Back pocket for Devonport.
Yeah, that was, not good use or decision-making by Ulverstone. They bring the footy across the opposite side of the ground. Kick there by Mason. Goes long, looking for Lockie Kelly. Taking the mark is the King of King Island. Bo Clemens, good in the air, strong. You can see he's been eating bull kelp before. Up towards half forward. That's a poor kick though. They're just playing kick to kick. Mason takes the mark. Goes inboard. Finds Forster. Gives it back to Mason, who's run on in front of Claridge. Goes further afield. Kicks it to the advantage of Van Buren. Quayle gets there. He's out after it with Nash. Brings him down. Is that holding the football umpire? Yes, it is, according to the umpire. He had the opportunity. Chose not to take it. So the free kick will be going to the captain for the Ulverstone Robins and Jordan Quayle.
Yeah, great work by Quayle. He lost it initially, but followed up with a brilliant tackle. Kicks it out wide to Blair, but Braden Van Buren got his fist in, and it goes out of play. So 9 points the margin. 10 points the margin, I should say. 11, sorry. Get it right eventually as the ball goes back into play. Ball not going anywhere for the moment. In fact, it's going to be a free kick.
I think you were right the first time. I think it's 9 points. 64 plays 55.
So Ulverstone to attack. They go towards a contest. Gee, that's a good mark. Out on the far side there by Kurt Mason.
Been prominent in this quarter. As Mason takes his kick back down the centre wing position. Looking for Butler, is unable to take it. Dives back in. Lands on top of his opponent. I'll have a ball up. So Matty Clark throws the ball straight back up. Wiggers wins the tap. Lowe comes through. Gets the handball forward. Oliver Kelly back in towards Jake Nash. Over to Forster. Forster finds the run of Hingston and gets his boot to ball now. Up towards Lockie Kelly, but Bo Clemens up to the task. Releases by hand. Finds his teammate. Throws it on the boots. Johnny DeVries runs past Jet McGurk. Wiggers. Good work there. Not Wiggers, my apologies. Claridge follows back up. Taken in the tackle, but umpire Matt Clark says, I'll have it. So the ball's released, and we'll have a ball up centre wing position right in front of the commentary box.
Approaching 15 minutes as Wiggers beats his opponent Butler in the ruck. Forster was desperate to get the footy. He got boot to ball somehow. And now being wrapped up there is Clark. Umpire just happy to let things unfold for the moment. And now he's going to ball it up. So we go again. Lockwood taps it down. Umpire says free kick for High. Pays the advantage. Blair Ryan to Hingston. Kicks it into the centre square, but only to the advantage of Quayle. He gets around Jake Nash and he's pinged by Caleb Van Buren, and the free kick has been paid. Good stuff there by Caleb Van Buren, and Devonport can attack.
A kick inside forward 50. The target is Kelly. Out after him is Clemens. Kelly wins out this time. Straightens back up. Kick's not a great one. Tyson up to it. Shows great agility. Wheels around on his favoured left. Kicks towards the goal square. On the last line of the fence, it's all the Ulverstone Robins. And Butler gives away a free kick. Maybe a 50. No, he says for umpire Phil McCullough. But he saw that Superman, Clay Griffiths. So he'll be taking the free kick just outside the goal square for the Ulverstone Robins. Shooting up as much time as possible as we hit the 16-minute mark. It's still 9 points in favour of the Ulverstone Robins. Here comes Bryce DeVries. That's the target in which Griffiths goes for, but over the back taking a mark was Kurt Mason, showing his aerial superiority. Kicks inside. Top of the goal square. Oh. Kelly at the front. What a mark. Good leap. That time he's beaten Clemens, Flanagan, Clark, Bond and Dawson. So Lockie Kelly will be kicking from directly in front of goal, about 15 metres out. He'll be going for his fourth. And he'll bring this margin back within a kick if he converts. Be some nervous Robins, I would imagine. He's pretty happy with the result. 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth, 4 in total, 4 goals, 3 to Lockie Kelly. The difference is 3 points. It's 8-13, the Devonport Magpies. 9-10, the Ulverstone Robins. 64 plays 61 as the ball comes back. There'll be some nervous Nellies hanging around the Ulverstone Robins nest at the moment, Jacob Evans.
Yeah, there absolutely would be. They have just dominated this last quarter. How can Ulverstone get back the momentum? Well, they need a goal. That's how they can do it. So Lockwood taps it only to Bo Nash, who was under pressure but got a kick away, but it landed in the hands of Kurt Mason, who kicks it out wide. Here's Caleb Van Buren, who runs away from his opponent, drops it on his own, gets it back, and then handballs it to Jake Nash, who kicks it to the goal square one-on-one. Flanagan and Castles. Castles comes away with it. He's on a very tight angle, so he goes the handball, and after all that, Ulverstone's able to see it through, courtesy of Jet McGurk. Danger eliminated for now. 2 points the margin as we approach time on.
So Bond brings it in, finds Clark. The old mudflap. Now known as short back and sides. And ungainly kicking style. DeVries brings it to ground. Diving on top of Eddie's Ryan. On top of him is DePoli. Ball up. Lockwood gets his boot to ball. Oliver Kelly pushed onto it there by Bo Nash. Goes inside forward 50. Tyson, use of the body. Ooh, is that a free kick? It is, according to umpire Phil McCullough. And receiving that, the last line of defence will be the Ulverstone Robins.
Dangerous kick to Dawson, but it worked. Decides to go short and out wide to Flanagan. Flanagan with a long kick in the direction of McGurk. He had a piece of it, couldn't quite mark though. And now the ball has been locked up in the hands of Quayle. And the umpire will ball it up on the far side of the ground. 2 points the margin. Lockwood and Bryce DeVries. DeVries won the hit out that time. Todman got a kick, but it didn't go very far. It landed back in his hands in the end. And then gave it off to Bo Nash, who kicks it forward. Passes a lot of players there. Mason gave it off. Handball there to Braden Van Buren. Mason kept on running. Kicks it into the centre of the ground. It's going to advantage Griffiths. Handballs it off and then gets it back from Todman. But they muck it up. Jake Nash out wide to Vorster. Inside 50 in the direction of Kelly. Couldn't quite mark. Trying to go over there is Clemens. Johnny DeVries with a clearing kick, and it's going to work out well. Mickey Linane takes a very good mark on the chest.
The old tip wrap. And centre wing position for Mickey Linane. Goes short, finds Stapoli. Been accumulated today. Had Murphy Cohen leading initially. Decides to go out towards McGurk, who fell over. They lose possession. It's now in the hands of Forster for the Devonport Magpies, who receives it from Hawks. So across half back in front of the wet area. Goes inboard, finds Ryan. McGurk wraps him up in the tackles. He was asked to play on. Spears in trouble now. Gets the ball back to Ryan. Gets around Nash. Feeds it across half back. I think that might have been to Van Buren. Van Buren into Butler. Butler to a leading Kelly. And he'll now have the opportunity to put the Devonport Magpies in front for the first time in this second half. And it's the dying stages of the game as we've hit time on. So he's got 4 to his name as Lockie Kelly, 4 goals, 3. On the right side for a right footer. Keeps it to the near side and it's only 1 behind. So it's 4 goals, 4 to his name. And I think it might be 2 points or a point the difference. 2 points the difference. 8-15 plays 9-10.
They're not mucking around here, Ulverstone. They've managed to get to half back. Here's Quayle. Kicking it long to the wing on the far side. Plenty of players crashing the pack. Fletcher Kelly went down with it and he's going to get the free, I think. He is. Decides to retreat to Spears. And then Spears into the centre to Kurt Mason. He's been busy in this last quarter. Handballs it off to Lowe, who goes inside 50. Kelly again, the target, couldn't quite mark. Here's Stan Tyson now trying to gather the footy. Players all over it. Comes out for Ollie Kelly. Byard now. Caleb Van Buren with the snap and misses.
Game's tied up.
Don't think we've had a draw this year, have we?
Nothing comes to mind initially.
It was definitely one last year.
So, looking forward to the next couple of minutes. There can't be much time. We're up to the almost the 23-minute mark as Bond brings it in. No mark to Todman. Comes down to Caleb Van Buren. He wheels onto his non-dominant side. Left side. Good punch over the back by Dawson. Over the top of Quade Byard. Boundary thrown will be the result. But it's in favour of the Devonport Magpies.
64 apiece. Ball comes in. Grabbing it out of the ruck there is Butler. Fed it into the hands of Castles, but he was wrapped up straight away. So the umpire to throw it in the air. Butler and Dawson. Butler taps it down. Castles trying to go with the footy. He's fumbling it. DePoli Kubank comes in. He's been pushed off the footy. And we'll get the free.
So it's DePoli Kubank. And the prolific ball winner for the Ulverstone Robins in this match against Devonport. It's 9-10 plays, 8-16, 64 apiece. Now 23 and a half minutes into the final term. No mark. Ball comes to ground from Tyler Kelly. Forster feigns, then wheels onto his left boot into the top of the goal square. Kelly at the back, no one able to take it. Ball comes to ground, kick off by Lowe. And he needs a score. That he does. And they take the lead. That's his first for the game.
Could that be the winner? Ticked over 24 minutes, so Bond kicking it out towards McGurk, but that is a good golden fist there by Spears. And it lands out of play. So just outside Devonport's forward 50. Lockwood and Bryce DeVries to do battle once again in the ruck.
Can't be much more time. Almost 25 minutes.
Surely not, as Ollie Kelly belts it inside 50. Oh. Kelly attacked the footy well. He kept hunting for it and then fell to ground. Flanagan with the clearing kick out wide. Jake Nash will be the first one there. He's got Quayle to contend with. Handballs it off to Butler. Back to Jake Nash, who tries to work a kick to Stan Tyson. Didn't quite find him, but he's got to get a free.
That might be the game. I think that's the game.
Jacob Roots was the man that got him just a little too high. If he does put this through, this will open the margin up to 7 points.
They've gone away from their attacking flair, the Ulverstone Robins, in this final term. It could come back to rue them. He's a good kick of the football, which he's taking all the time. It's allocated. Take us through it, Jacob.
So Stan Tyson lining up from long range and from a difficult angle. He runs around, he kicks it. It's not going to go anywhere near the goals. It lands in the top of the goal square. They're able to clear it out of the danger area here, Ulverstone, but they need to be quick. Here's Bo Nash in the direction of Claridge. Had it for a moment, and then coming in was Todman. Keegan Lowe desperate to get the footy, and the umpire's going to ball it up very close to the boundary line.
Everything's got to go right from this point forward. We're at the 26-minute mark. Time is on the side of the Devonport Magpies. De Vries, won by Lockwood, down to Ryan. Oliver Kelly, standing start, kicks towards Olockie Kelly. Why not? Good mark taken on the last line of defence, though, by Clemens, the king of King Island. Goes back in towards the centre to Poley. He's met there by Tyler Kelly. Knocks the ball forward to Fletcher Kelly. Fletcher Kelly met by Flanagan. Follows back up to Fletcher Kelly. Kicks inside forward 50. It's all Devonport at the moment. They feed it out to Quade Byard. Loses the football. It's taken by Bond. He throws it back towards the centre of the ground. Last opportunity sort of beckons. It's a Hail Mary. Unfortunately, they're unable to take it. Devonport knock it forward. It's in the hands of Lockwood. His kick goes inside forward 50 towards Tyson. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Gets it back to Forster. He's thrown down and another great tackle there by Claridge. The umpire says, I'll have it. And Matt Clark will ball it up across half forward for the Devonport Magpies.
Lockwood punches it away. Falls out to Ollie Kelly. That's the siren.
It's a goal.
And a goal
on the siren. Oh.
There you go. They trailed by as much as 22 points at three-quarter time, the Magpies, but they've come from behind to record the victory in this round 13 game. 9-17-71 to 9-10-64. They're a great team for a reason. And another example of that this afternoon.
Well, Ulverstone didn't score in that final term, but it was a 4-goal, 5-term for the Devonport Magpies. And the Gremlins have truly set in, one would think, the Ulverstone playing personnel, along with the coaching fraternity, one would imagine, considering that they were more than level pegging with the Devonport Magpies throughout the first, second and third terms. And in the final term, it was all Devonport that came home with a flurry. 9 shots to 0. So they went too defensive in that final term. And I noticed actually on their whiteboard, Jacob, that they had tackle, pressure as their key indicators or points that were referenced at three-quarter time by Troy Super Davies. Goal scorers for the Ulverstone men as we get Jacob Evers to do the 3, 2 and 1 from today's round 13 fixture. Good luck with that one, Jacob. The Ulverstone men, it was 2 goals apiece to Oliver DePauli, Luke Murphy-Cohen, Logan Lamprey, Jackson Blair, and the single goal kicker was Jet McGurk, and they all were in the first, second and third terms for each of those players. For the Devonport, well, up front, Lockie Kelly ends up with 4 goals. 4 was possibly a difference. 2 goals to Caleb Van Buren, so that class coming through. 2 goals, 2. Single goal kickers, 2 to Charlie Castles. Oliver Kelly right on the siren at the last final term, and Stan Tyson with 1 in the fourth. Better players for the Ulverstone Football Club today. Well, I thought throughout the course of today, down back, Bowen Clemens was terrific. Even though he was up against Lockie Kelly, who was their best forward, he didn't put a foot wrong throughout the course of today, and possibly beaten by a better player and maybe better supported were the Devonport Magpies and forwards by their playing personnel. Clay Griffiths, I thought, was instrumental throughout the course of the day. Doesn't get a heap of the football, but he moves the players in and around and structures them up, and he was very much a linchpin for the Ulverstone Robins. I think they missed the run of Zach Hazelwood, but Ethan Bond was trying his darndest in the first, second and third terms. Jackson Blair was in and out throughout the course of today. I thought the De Vries boys all gave their very best, but at times they didn't use the possession with the best of it, or with great efficiency throughout the course of the match. Benny Dawson down back was also good. and their ball getters today, in particular Oliver Topoli and Bo Nash, were prominent figures. Nonetheless, they didn't really hurt the Devonport Magpies when it counted. For the Devonport Magpies, well, Blair Ryan, I think, was possibly their best player, servicing the team throughout the course of the match. Strong,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ulverstone footy ground.
Good at getting on the score. However, he only ended up with 3 points to his name. Evan Lockwood in the right was great.
Today's
first use,
game
Kurt
has
Mason
been
across half back.
sponsored
As I mentioned, Rocky
and
Kelly up front.
provided some sponsorship for our first responders. If you'll just bear with me, I'll just got to find something.
Jacob with the 3, 2 and 1. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the Ulverstone players appear within that today, because I thought that they were very serviceable, however, not when it counted.
They were, yeah, absolutely. Well,
This
this is really tough, but
article
I've given
was written by
one vote.
Reece Clark.
I thought he was very good in defence, and I've actually given the rest of the votes to a couple of
and I'd just like
pies.
to read a little
Kelly,
bit
I thought
of
was
it
outstanding.
to explain, I guess,
And
what
I've actually
today's
given 3
about.
votes to Lockie Kelly.
The Ulverstone Footy Club
He had a big
acknowledges
say in
and
that
thanks
last
all
quarter, and especially with that big mark in the goal square. So,
responders.
not sure if I've nailed
Today we
it,
pay
but
tribute to our police officers, paramedics, firefighters, SES volunteers, nurses, doctors and emergency department staff, and all emergency service personnel whose dedication and selflessness make our community a safer place. We're especially grateful that a number of these dedicated people are also part of the Ulverstone Footy Club family, as they would be with all the other clubs on the coast. They are players, coaches, volunteers, members, supporters and parents. They wear their club colours of a weekend, and throughout the weekend they wear another uniform. As they answer the call to help others, their commitment to both our club and to all the other clubs and our community is something we are incredibly proud of. So with that, the Ulverstone Footy Club would like to thank Marcus Todman, Motors Devonport, for the sponsorship of their First Responders Cup and medals for today's games, with the first of hopefully many times of awarding the First Responders Cup to the winning side and medals to the best players from each team. So firstly, to the losing team best player for Ulverstone, I'd ask Bowen Clements to come forward.
Good work, Dave. Us boys, unlucky. Thanks, Eba.
Okay, and to the winning team, our best player award for Devonport goes to Evan Lockwood.
Just a big thank you for all the first responders in our community. Great game, Alvy, and yeah, go Pies.
And for the cup, the presentation of the cup to the winning side, only by a little bit, but anyway, they just proved once again they are one of the best clubs and the best teams on the coast. So to Devonport, the First Responders Cup goes to the first time, and I'd like to ask the captain or the coach to come forward and accept the cup.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, the Ulverstone Footy Club, for putting on this initiative. Great initiative, and hope we have it for many years to come. Great game, Alvy. I think Marcus said it best at the end. It's pretty close now, isn't it? Like, these games we've had this year are very close, so no doubt we'll see you down the track. So, cheers.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll do the same again after the ladies' game. Thank you.